Washington has been so stout defensively, as you mentioned, Hunter, so curious to see how these two teams face off in their rematch from the regular season. Iowa able to win 1-0 versus Washington on October 7th. It was Parton, who we mentioned previously, who had the late game heroics, the first half heroics off the corner.
And looking too back at the numbers, defensively, it is not that far off. For Washington's, they're averaging .53 goals against, and then it's .56 for the Iowa Hawkeyes.
Yep, and so both teams set to try and put their mark on this first half. We'll see if either is able to establish some run of play. Bush out wide. Hansen on the run. Follow-up opportunity is blocked, but Iowa earns a corner just under a minute into this one, and they have a set piece. Let's see how Washington defends.
Iowa also has a total of 35 goals on the year compared to Washington's 24, so the offensive potential is going to be key here tonight. Iowa also have 4 players with 5 goals on the season. For Washington, they have 4 players with multiple goals on the season, and 10 of them have at least 1 goal coming into tonight.
Very impressive from the Huskies. Now the Hawkeyes take the corner. Lofted toward the top of the 6, but we have a whistle. Still not entirely sure. It looks like they will retake the corner. The whistle occurred before it was taken.
Pretty spread out in the box.
Looks like Washington almost entirely player marking. Iowa lofted to the top of the 6. Not cleared yet, but eventually Mia Hammett able to fall on it for the Huskies. She is so stout, .868 save percentage. Just absolutely a brick wall back there for Washington. Washington comes in at 10-5-2. They are 7-4 in Big Ten play, an RPI of 40. Bear with us a bit, having a few technical difficulties. The game underway here at Elizabeth Lau Robbie Stadium, just a few minutes in. Washington into the attack on the near side. Deep in the corner, they have a throw.
Yeah, so far they've just been running with a man. Both teams kind of running more man-to-man rather than trying to double mark up some players.
And a header for Washington, and it's saved. What a huge save. Macy Enneking dives to her left. That was a big, big opportunity for Washington, and now the Huskies have a corner kick on this near side.
Enneking averaging .828 save percentage. She has 9 shutouts on the year. She's also started all 5 years for the Hawkeyes, so couple of impressive goalkeepers here tonight.
And Iowa coming in with a little bit of extra comfort. They played at ELR just a few days ago to finish off the Big Ten regular season. The corner from Washington is cleared. They fell to Minnesota, but that was a hard-fought game, and they had the opportunity to come see the facility. They will have another throw.
And that's an aspect, too, you can talk about throughout the Big Ten tournament. Obviously, the big story this year has been the new additions into the Big Ten with teams that are not accustomed to this Midwestern weather. Iowa's obviously a little bit more familiar, but Washington still might be a little colder than it normally is over there on the West Coast.
Yeah, when we talked to head coach Nicole Van Dyke, she mentioned the team's mentality is, I thought it sounded a little unique compared to the other coaches we spoke with. She said the team is just, they're happy to be here. They've been a quality team. They're ready to adapt to whoever is put in front of them. And so they're comfortable resetting from the back. Now on the far side is Washington. Iowa now in possession. See there, number 9, Maya Hansen, one of 2 Minnesotans on the Hawkeye roster. A lot of Maya Hansen family and friends in the stands, as well as Barrett Parton, I'm sure. 2 star forwards at opposite ends of their college career. Maya Hansen, a 5th year, did 4 years as a star for South Dakota State. Barrett Parton, a freshman. Now Iowa has a set piece just inside half.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there. That was Johnston. Was fouled in the... Looks like the keeper's coming out to take this free kick.
All right, let's see what Mia Hammett has.
Backing up pretty far away from the net as they all crash in.
Far post. Anaking is there for the punch. Iowa tracking to get that second clearance. And now whistled again for the set piece. So the Huskies have another opportunity.
Yeah, we're just going to keep seeing those fouls rack up tonight. Again, we're starting to see the physicality ramp up. Here's
Particularly that contact from behind, just a little, and the arm on the back, just a little bit too obvious. Micah Ingles, 5 goals and 5 assists, but whistles for the foul there.
We're going to wall up right in front of the free kick.
3 Huskies standing over it. Papa Theodoro, Colo Suliafo, as well as Samia Shell. You can hear head coach Nicole Van Dyke saying, make sure you crash should there be any rebound opportunity. Pop to the far post. A header. Follow-up chance. It's blocked. Another follow-up. Hard-driven ball, but it's blocked.
That was a fantastic play design just to keep it short, keep the eyes on the defenders, on multiple people, as that one goes out of bounds, just to have them to watch multiple players and then take a free kick can easily lead to confusion on the defensive side of the ball, but great job by Iowa not buckling down.
Yep, some nice strategy from the Huskies there. We mentioned this game will almost certainly feature a lot of set pieces. Both of these squads very high in the foul column. And unfortunately for Iowa, a lot of those set pieces have come in dangerous territory. Still scoreless though, 0-0 between Washington and Iowa.
And this game is starting to have the feel. I think we were talking a little bit earlier in the day just with one of the coaches' discussions about playing for a 1-0 win. And that's kind of what this game is feeling like early on. If they get that 1-0 lead, it's going to be all hands on deck to defend.
Yeah, both teams so stout in defense that it may only take a goal to win this one, although both have also shown a lot of attacking verve as well. Washington getting downhill, not quite able to connect. Iowa will have the throw right in front of their own bench.
Here the coach is changing their defense a little bit.
These moments of transition are something Iowa head coach Dave Diani talked about. Just you have to be able to win those moments in transition. Can you transition quickly when you turn the ball over and get into defense? Can you find a way to counterattack when you turn the other team over, particularly for teams like this that make defensive stops? Going to be such a big part of the game.
And you can see how spread out Iowa is right now. It's kind of to cover them while they're still figuring out what kind of offense Washington's going to run. One mistake, though, it's going to help cover up for those mistakes early on in the game, and I'm certain we'll kind of see that man-to-man, like I mentioned earlier, kind of ramp up here. But so far, Iowa holding strong.
Washington with that long attempt. Anna King is there. Inching closer to the 25th minute, still tied 0-0. I'm Matt Pavratsky alongside Hunter Pinky with second game of Big Ten tournament play. You see there Macy Enneking, 9 clean sheets for her and the Hawkeye defense on the season. She's been tremendous in goal. Even in games like when she faced off against the Gophers here at ELR, you know, you see the loss and you see the score line, but she was still a huge part of contributing for that Iowa team.
Yeah, she's won the Big Ten Keeper of the Week 3 times in her career. She also holds the record for the most shutouts in a season with 12. I think she's sitting at 9, obviously, but that's still a remarkable mark to have on your resume. She's also the first Hawkeye named on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list.
Very impressive. The crown jewel of women's college soccer. Even getting named to the watch list alone is such an honor because it's so competitive. And you see her counterpart in the Washington goal, Mia Hammett, 7 clean sheets for her and the Husky defense this year. She's already looked really solid in the back for Washington. Junior from Corte Madera, California.
We can go ahead. We should have 2.
Iowa resetting from the back.
Yeah, currently Hammett ranks 4th in the nation and 1st in the Big Ten with a .881 save percentage. Ranks 17th in the NCAA and 3rd in the Big Ten with a goals allowed average of .56.
So tough to beat. She and the Husky defense. And now they're trying to get into the offensive attack. They'll have a throw right in front of the Iowa bench.
Iowa still spreading it out.
Hard press by the Husky defense, and they earn another foul. We have yet to see a yellow card. I wouldn't be surprised if these fouls continue. If you don't see a caution, you see here another look at it.
That one was close to me in my book. Just a little too aggressive. I don't think she was going for anything of ill intent, but that was just a little bit too aggressive of a tackle.
Able to get a lot of the ball, likely saved her from the caution there. We heard earlier, just a few minutes ago, head coach Nicole Van Dyke reminding the officials about that repetitive fouling on this side of the field. You see there on the graphic, already 5 fouls for Iowa, only 1 for Washington. A good show of discipline for the Husky defense, and now
that 3-player kind of formation once again.
Set piece. Far corner. Initially cleared by Iowa.
That was a great header on the back end to save that. And again, we just saw the misdirection. That time, they didn't do the short pass. They stepped through. As a shot comes in long, great save.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Digs in, save some energy for what could be a tough second half.
Yeah, neither of these teams have had to play extra time during the regular season. They may have to play some extra minutes tonight.
Support!
Kelsey Branson in the corner.
Jace, support!
Eichenberger earns the throw. Kalea Eichenberger has been so dangerous, number 21. At times, she's been a focal point in the build-up play for Washington. Now the Huskies with the throw.
Just gotta fill that gap just in case, Mike.
Long throw into the 18. Chance to serve it in. Nice defense from Iowa. And eventually, Tatum Thomason is whistled for the foul, so Iowa will reset from their own end.
We are going to get that couple of substitutions getting ready down there.
Yep, 2 more subs. Kaylee Collard, as well as Berkeley Bingley, coming on for Iowa at the next stoppage, I believe.
We talked about opponent familiarity earlier in the broadcast. Iowa's losses on the season were both in the Big Ten against Minnesota and Wisconsin, and for Washington, 3 out of the 4 were against Big Ten opponents, Iowa, UCLA, and Rutgers. But for Iowa, it's a little, or for Washington, excuse me, it's still got that little bit of a different feel. It still almost feels non-conference because you still haven't learned these opponents' play styles. And once we kind of get into next season and beyond, we'll start to see those changes there.
Right.
And the familiarity.
Right, compared to 2 teams like Rutgers and Michigan State earlier today who have had a decade plus of playing each other.
And they know how they operate in and out, and that's how it pretty much got to a 2-1 overtime game.
Yep. And the reverse also true. Teams like Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin having to play teams out in the Pacific Northwest and out in LA. A new experience for all these players and coaches. Iowa gets a set piece there. Washington whistled for the foul.
And that's why play diversity is so important in matchups you're familiar with. Here's a look at that last foul. Yeah, just got there a little bit early and just bad timing.
Suliafu trying to be diligent there, just a little bit too much contact in the back. So Iowa has their own dangerous set piece after so many for the Huskies earlier this half. Looks like Madison Wilson and Sophia Bush will stand over it for the Hawkeyes. Wilson lofted to the far side. Chipped on, but the keeper is there. Hammett remains stout in goal for Washington.
Tried to kind of set up for another rebound with that header, but none of the other Hawkeyes could get in there to crash in time. That was just a great read by Hammett to cover that up quickly.
Anytime we cut to a close-up of Hammett, she just looks so entirely unfazed. There's just no emotion on her face whatsoever, just ice cold back there.
Gonna have to do better than that is kind of what's running through her head.
Under 3 minutes to go here, still scoreless between Iowa and Washington in the second round of the Big Ten Conference Tournament.
One other important note about Washington, too, is over half of their goals on the season have come in the second half.
Yep.
And that's kind of how it's building up tonight. They're doing that feeling out process, and then they're going to turn on the Jets in the second half. 16 out of their 24 goals have all been in the second half of the game. So that's going to be an important thing to watch the rest of the way.
And in this game in particular, Iowa also somewhat of a second half team. 21 second half goals to 14 in the first. So we may be in for an exciting second 45. We'll see.
Makes for better TV anyway, right?
Washington resetting 2 minutes ago, still scoreless.
Last two.
All 10 of these Big Ten Conference teams in the top 40 in RPI, all fairly likely to be clean at large bids come NCAA tournament time, but this conference tournament path is how they can set their fate in terms of seeding, in terms of the automatic berth. Washington shepherds it out smartly, 90 seconds to go, still scoreless. Another sub for Iowa, Berkeley Bingley coming on.
Just about to hit that 1 minute mark. This half has flown by.
Absolutely. Yeah, scoreless soccer is not all created equal. We've had some scoreless games, even in the Big Ten tournament, that really were a bit more of a slog than this. A lot of attacking energy from both these squads, but just very good defenses keeping things level.
There's some contact there, but nothing called.
Yep, they'll rule it to be sort of body to body. Jace Holmes went down and will now take the throw.
Oh, great through ball. Just a little too far behind.
Yeah, not quite able to attack. Oh, and some contact there. That one will be whistled. A little bit too obvious. Alex Buck with a lot of contact in the back of the Iowa player. So Iowa will reset. Look at the replay.
Yep, just again, bad timing once again.
The official just a little bit too close to that one, so you're not going to get away with that. Enneking will take it. Only about 10 seconds left.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
And there we go. The clock ticks down to 0. We close out the first half 0-0. A hard-fought battle in that first 45, Hunter. Both teams did well enough in the regular season to earn that first round bye into the second round. So just one win will advance them to the semifinals, and Iowa kicks things off.
And not to mention, too, they've made 3 out of the last 4 NCAA tournaments, which is huge for the Hawkeyes. Looking to repeat that, make that 4 out of 5.
Huskies now heading downhill.
Going to see pace of play slowly start to ramp up here. Like we said, kind of the early first half, we saw them kind of feeling each other out. What are they going to do? But now we're going to see that more man-to-man style aggressiveness here, because it feels like we're at a boiling point. And we mentioned it earlier, they're both second half scorers.
Yep.
So who's going to score first, and then who's going to be that all hands on deck defense?
Yeah, how long will this one stay scoreless with both of these very dangerous teams. Washington with a chance, lofted to the far side of the box. It was Maya Loud who sent it out there. Kalia Eichenberger into the box. Iowa able to clear at first. Washington trying to pin them in.
Take the opportunity to regroup a little bit here, set up their next play.
Out wide, but just a little bit too much on it. Iowa will have the throw in.
Those are the mistakes you're going to have to be careful of. Good passing is really going to be key here late, as like I said, we saw the spread style defense. If Iowa starts getting these perfect passes down, they're going to get many more shots on net.
Yep, every mistake can cost you in defense, and you have to minimize them in offense as well, because goals may be hard to come by, these two stout defenses. Iowa now working the attack on the far side. Little bit of a window. Cross into the box. Headed out by Washington, so Iowa earns the corner on the far side just a few minutes into the second half.
And again, another big opportunity on net. Take a look back here on the replay. Good crosser, and then just got a head on it to knock it away. But even still, they've got that set piece with this corner kick. So this is going to be huge for Iowa and Washington, how they defend it.
Yeah, big deflection from Kate Sheldolin.
They're kind of pressing up onto that corner.
Making sure that short option for Iowa isn't too dangerous. Lauren Getzik sends it in. Top of the 6. A lot of traffic in the box. An attempt from Iowa, it's blocked. Follow-up chance.
She had a defender, or she had a player there for some relief, but with the pressure from Washington, couldn't get a good pass off in the corner.
And Washington has to be careful allowing so many second, third, and fourth chances for Iowa. They are so diligent in their attacking box. Now Washington heading the other way. From distance, it's wide.
Like the idea there. She had some help, but at this point, why not take a shot? Force them to retreat, give them something to think about.
Yeah, well hit. Looked like it was Samia Shell. Another look at it here. Yep, Shell with it. Good contact, just not quite able to place it accurately on frame. Goal kick for Enneking. Bush, so good. Now in transition, has some runners with her. Great recovery. Lucy Newland, some great track back. Iowa with it again.
Great header by Maya Loud just to intercept that one. They were in prime position to get a shot off. However, great defense from Loud prevents another opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Hammett will take the set piece as we approach the 50th minute in this one. Still scoreless, Washington and Iowa battling for a spot in St. Louis in the Big Ten tournament semifinal.
Go ahead out.
Almost all the way through the Iowa team. A lot of players clustered right in that middle third.
Again, defense tightening up here. Speed of the play, too, is increasing, too. Rather than watching where the spatial awareness piece of it, they're just trying to outbeat their man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both teams so good in defense, but both teams also showing some chops in transition, getting into the attack from a defensive shape. Now Washington with the throw on this near side. Into the box, flicked on. Iowa with the initial clearance.
Those throws, too, from the corners aren't ones you can take lightly. You get a player who can make a good throw, and it can act like a corner kick if thrown to the proper location. And pretty close there to getting a decent opportunity, but no dice.
And even when it doesn't lead to a dangerous attempt on that play, you're able to earn a corner, as Washington does there, and an Iowa player is down.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Enneking patient in the restart as we approach the 70th minute, still scoreless.
Same thing, T. Straight up, straight up. Samia behind you, Samia. Drop Samia.
Yeah, Iowa taking the advantages with shots on goal with 7. Washington sitting at about 4.
Behind the ball.
Washington still has the advantage in total shots at 15 as we sit.
You have to check that. Your 6 is out. I need you to work. You gotta work, Pop. Drop. You gotta work.
Washington only sitting at 2 corners as well so far in the night.
You can hear Washington head coach Nicole Van Dyke urging her star forward, Papa Theodoro, to drop back, try and get the ball. That time she forces the foul and Iowa gets the yellow. Looked like Ava Pattison called for that caution. Some heavy contact.
Again, it was kind of not a matter of if, it was a matter of when.
The first yellow card, yeah.
It was a matter of just when that was going to happen.
In the 71st minute,
And unfortunately for Iowa, it gives them another good opportunity here to get one in there.
Both these teams in the top half of the conference in terms of yellow cards, both teams in the top 4 in terms of fouls. So a game loaded with free kicks and set pieces. Kolo Suliafu.
Mass amount of subs getting ready for Iowa too here shortly.
Into the box.
And not a lot of space either for Ingalls there. She had to clear that one quickly. A couple of defenders offensive players crashed immediately. So smart idea just to get that out of the way and set up a throw.
Yep, don't want to take any chances. And unfortunate for Iowa, again, not able to clear it out. So it's a corner for Washington on this near side.
Only their third of the game. So again, going to be a huge opportunity here for Washington. Positioning is going to be really important because Iowa's kind of crowding the net.
Barkley! Barkley, this way! Barkley! This way!
Papa Theodoro
No, you're not meant.
drives it to the far post. Good clearance by the Iowa defense.
Back post!
Washington will recycle. Okay, Sheldon trying to send it forward, but Iowa is there.
And starting to see the speed increase. They have a player sneaking down behind their defenders.
Yeah, just 18 minutes left to play, and this one's still scoreless. What will be the play that unlocks the score line here? Still 0-0. Maya Hansen has Ingalls. Finds her out wide. Cutting in. Now out wide again. A shot, but not quite enough on it. Hammett is there.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Piece. Iowa still dominating shots on goal with 10, but the overall shot total pretty even still.
We've said all game it's going to be so hard to beat either of these defenses and either of these keepers, and so far the score line is proving that true. Iowa with the throw on the far side right at midfield. Ingalls will come back on. replacing Kenzie Rowling.
I feel like Washington just needs one thing, whether it be a free kick from inside their territory. They just need one sort of spark to get their offense rolling again. Again, I really liked their three-person setup on the free kicks, and I really think that's going to help them out in the long run if they can get that one opportunity.
Yeah, we'll see if a set piece is what breaks this scoring drought for these teams. Getzik comes on, replacing Kaylee Collard.
Foul on as a player hit the deck. Now they're giving Iowa some time to reset here and set up their offense.
Bush not quite able to fight off Newland. Now Washington trying to get downhill. Samia Shell out wide, allowing them to play on. End line. Into the box, and it's cleared out, but Washington has earned the corner with less than 5 minutes to go in this one.
That was cleared by Millie Greer, and again, this could be that big opportunity.
Another look, nice job by Samia Shell. Forces the issue, nice cross. Makes Greer clear it off the end line, and now the Huskies have a corner.
Again, they're kind of setting up farther back in the box to kind of crash in.
Driven across the 6. Initial clearance from Iowa. Follow-up, and it goes wide.
You know, smart, too. They had a few up front crash in, but then they had a couple set back to set up for a rebound. Just fortunately couldn't get it to go.
Yeah, when that initial chance isn't there, can you find the follow-up? Can you find any way to get a ball on frame? These teams will take any opportunity they can get in this scoreless game so far. Anna King takes the goal kick for Iowa.
3:30 left to go. Time is running out here.
Washington with the throw on the far side. Throw again for the Huskies. Looks like Holmes set to take it. Holmes trying to get free, not quite able to keep it in, so it's an Iowa goal kick once again. 3 minutes to go.
Just looks like Washington really is just trying to steal a possession. In these moments where Iowa's regrouping, they have somebody crashing in there looking to swipe one away. Like right there, she just came running from behind to
Suliafu.
Steal it.
Washington certainly not quite able to connect passes in combination as we saw in the first half. Iowa now with the throw. Just over 2 minutes ago, still scoreless. Can either of these teams claim a result in regulation, or are we headed to extra time? Throw in for Washington.
Alex, if she's not jumping, help out.
Alex can look behind. Alex, you can get
Long throw. Buck.
There it is.
Getting downhill. Trying to go through. Follow up. Blocked again. Now a chance out wide. Samia Shell tries to get end line. Follow-up chance. Top of the box. Iowa's been very diligent in that defensive third the last few minutes. Holmes with it. Deflected out. So another corner for Washington, this time on the far side with just over 60 seconds to play.
Again, both teams are extremely vigilant. Every opportunity has been narrow. Again, they had a perfect lane, but Iowa quickly closed that gap. But here's another huge opportunity, potential set piece here. As we are officially under a minute to go in regulation.
Star forward Ioana Papatheodoro over there to take the corner for Washington. Less than a minute to go, still scoreless. Plays it short. Back to Papatheodoro. Plays it low, but Enneking is there. Going to take more than that to beat the Hawkeye keeper.
Again, a lot of moving pieces. It looked like they were going to set up for the backside, but then someone came crashing and cut it off early to get the shot off. Again, just the patience to keep an eye on all those moving pieces and not get distracted as...
Out for an Iowa throw. Just 10 seconds to go.
10.
These
9,
teams seem
8,
poised
7,
for extra time
6,
as the clock
5,
clicks down to
4,
0.
3,
Still
2,
a scoreless
1.
game between Washington and Iowa, and for the second time today, the Big Ten tournament heads to overtime.
Is one mistake and one opportunity for things to change at the drop of a hat.
Absolutely, 2 10-minute periods, but the first goal wins it. Golden goal for whoever can get on the score sheet first. Another thing to note, Iowa went far, far deeper into the bench. The Huskies during the regular season was far more active in using their subs, but it's been the opposite today. So we'll see if these core rotation players and the Washington squad are able to pull off the victory in extra time, or at the end of 20 minutes, if it's still scoreless, we will go to penalty kicks. Holmes with the throw.
Be ready with 2. Goal up. Be ready with 2. Rest defense. Here she comes. On the bounce.
Can ask for a better week of soccer too. Big Ten tournament, all the tournament actions, high school state tournament just ended. A lot of good games across the state.
Yeah, just the
weekend.
Big Ten alone, 6 games in 4 days, all at Elizabeth Lyle-Robbie Stadium here in Minnesota. As Hunter mentioned, we also have the high school state tournament going on at US Bank Stadium. For those who are a fan of the running part of soccer, the cross-country state tournament took place just a couple hundred yards to your right on the screen here.
Minnesota football state tournament starts next week as well.
An embarrassment of riches. Washington takes the throw. Thomason with a chance. Out wide. That one is whistled a foul. So now the Huskies have an outstanding opportunity from right outside the box. Ioana Papatheodoro standing over it. Another look at that foul. Just a little bit too much contact. That's a little tough.
I think she was trying to make a play on the ball, but again, it kind of, just the timing didn't line up properly.
Yeah, for all the heavy, heavy physical contact, that's a lot lighter than what we've seen whistled, but it's why Washington forces the issue there. Papatheodoro standing over it. Just gets under it a little bit, so it sails high. Iowa will restart.
Decent arc what she was trying to do, but just way too high.
And that angle for a right footer, not super primed for a scoring opportunity. So now Iowa resets. They'll have a throw. Rolling. Papatheodoro. Defended well. A lot of contact, but no foul. Fife able to force Papatheodoro off the ball. Washington trying to turn this into an opportunity. Buck pressuring Enneking.
Again,
And Buck is able to get there, but it deflects out for a goal kick.
we were just talking about how the advantage was with Iowa, just a little healthier legs, but it really looks like Washington has turned it up a notch. Look at her speed to get down there, and just a little bit better angle, and that could be going the other direction. And Washington's really putting on the pressure right now.
Yeah, Buck so tall, so athletic, closed down that gap really quickly. Now Iowa will restart again from their own 6.
Good. Second ball. Come on, together.
Great job by Washington to retreat quickly right there.
Out for another Iowa throw. We mentioned the previous overtime game, Rutgers was able to get that goal around this mark in the first overtime period earlier today at ELR. Hard physical battle there, and it's eventually whistled. I think maybe because Tatum Thompson also sort of threw the arm. So now Iowa with a free kick.
I was going to say, that looked like a push, and that's a borderline maybe caution or a card.
A lot of physicality.
Looked like, oh, they kind of locked arms, and then she shoved her off.
Yep, and Gesick will take the free kick about 40 yards out, right at the sideline.
Fouls at 10 apiece. Talk about a mirror match.
Lofted right toward goal. Parton tries to flick, but Hammett is there.
Again, great job remaining composed with an Iowa player crashing the net.
Washington now trying to get downhill. Shell has some runners with her. Nice defensive positioning. Washington again.
Almost to the 4-minute mark here in the first overtime period.
Come on, guys, gotta work! Gotta work!
Buck again able to get the block, this time on the Iowa defender.
Drop, find the ball, Kalea, drop.
Drop, Kalea, gotta drop. Good job, Polo.
We got this. Let's go. Let's go.
Collision there, no whistle. Oh, excuse me, it is whistled against Buck and Washington. So now Iowa has the set piece.
And again, it's been looking like they've been trying to get Parton to kind of sneak back and create some space, but Washington's done a great job retreating and not allowing those lanes to open up. Here's a look back at that foul.
Yeah, just a little bit too much contact, I guess. Iowa has the free kick beyond half. Top of the box. Throw for Iowa, so we will see a change. Sophia Bush coming back on for the Hawkeyes.
Entering is number 5, Sophia Bush, replacing number 2.
She'll replace Barrett Parton. Bush isn't a Minnesotan, but she does play her summer ball. She played for Minnesota Aurora last summer, so has some experience up in the Twin Cities.
So she attended Minnehaha Academy.
Barrett Parton, yeah. And Iowa sends the ball over the end line. It'll be a goal kick for Washington. They'll make a change.
Yeah, Iowa likes to have a
For the University of Washington.
number of Minnesota players. Maya Hansen as well as a Minnesota, out of Burnsville and Savage.
Replacing number 11.
Kelsey Branson back on for Washington. She'll replace Papa Theodoro for the final 3 minutes of overtime.
It's interesting on Washington's roster, too. They pull mainly from California. Washington's in second, and then they have 2 international players.
A window, Ingles. Hammond is there. Yeah, the difference of those recruiting bases from these Big Ten teams, so interesting to track. 2.5 minutes ago here, still scoreless. First goal in overtime wins you the game. Bush trying to find a passing angle, not quite able to. Eichenberger. Holmes. Up for a Washington throw. Just over 2 minutes ago here.
Stay on the back line, Al. Stay on the back line if we can.
Gesick. Forward for Iowa. Hawkeyes trying to see if they can get another real chance on goal here. Driven down line, but that one will go out for another goal kick. Less than 2 minutes ago here. Hammett to reset.
Kind of following the script, looking like we might get a double overtime situation, barring an extreme change. Kind of had a stalemate here once again.
Yeah, both teams being very careful not to put too much at risk. obviously want to win in overtime if they can, but also don't want to concede. Washington tries to drive it forward. Iowa blocks. Oh, wow. Washington earns the whistle on that sort of acrobatic aerial challenge from Buck. Iowa bench not super happy, but now the Huskies have a set piece from about 50 yards out in the center of the field.
There's a look back at it, kind of see when that contact.
It's another foul on 10, Soner.
Hey, right over Kelsey's head there.
Tough to see in the run of play. Obviously, there was contact, so not shocking to see a whistle, but
Right over Kelsey's head.
Buck did a good job challenging for the ball and forcing the issue. Now Washington serves it, top of the box. No one there to take a shot. Now 30 seconds to go.
Shell looked like she was there to make a play, but unfortunately tripped a little bit on the grass.
Yep, Hammett with it. Will they take one more shot at this? Suliafu. Forward. Iowa able to deal with it. Now Holmes.
Get ready, Alex!
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Both teams will
3,
watch
2,
as the clock
1.
ticks down to 0. For over 100 minutes now, Hunter.
It was interesting, too, we didn't have it on camera, but how Iowa lined up to start this overtime. They were crowding the midfield line, and it's been an offensive onslaught to start here in the first 15 seconds of OT2.
Yeah, urgent to see if they can take the golden goal. First goal in overtime wins. No whistle.
That was Rolling who hit the pitch.
Anaking with it now. Both these teams have put in so much work so far in the first 90 minutes and in the first overtime period. Iowa now has a free kick just beyond half. Will either of these teams be able to muster some spirit and get on the board in overtime, or are we headed to penalties for the first time in the 2024 Big Ten Conference Tournament? We'll see.
With how this game's been trending, I feel like we're getting a shootout coming, but the announcer's jinx is a powerful tool.
Ball all the way to the box. Washington with the first clearance. Eichenberger with a second clearance.
Maya, pass her off. Yep. Be aware, Alex.
And fouls, both teams are neck and neck. Washington with 12, Iowa with 11. Both teams playing equally scrappy.
Left wing by the defender, but can't quite go with it.
Little bit of contact, no call.
And some contact on that far side. This one will be a set piece. Iowa with a dangerous opportunity. 7.5 minutes left to go in the second overtime. And Gesick will stand over it as the Hawkeyes see if they can pull off the win here in the second round of the Big Ten tournament.
Again, this is going to be a key opportunity.
Gesick plays it short.
They've been opting for the shorter play.
Into the box. And it's headed, but Hammett is there. When Washington gets a chance, it looks like they will make a sub, but first, Samia Shell down the line for Buck. Buck not quite able to get there, so it's a throw for Iowa.
And they had the pieces right, just couldn't get a good pass through.
Jaden Holdenfried will come on for Washington when they have the opportunity. Right now, they're trying to pin Iowa into their own half. Maya Loud, some nice footwork. Iowa with it now. Out wide. Rolling. Bush, but not quite able to connect, so we will see the change. Jaden Holdenfried comes on for Alex Buck.
Jaden Holdenreed. Replacing number 15, Alex Buck.
Holdenreed, excuse me. Throw in for Washington. Now throw for Iowa. Under 6 minutes to go here in the second OT. Ingles trying to get ball downfield. Now Washington with it. Little bit of a moment there. Iowa whistled for the foul.
Looks like we
against Kalia Eichenberger.
She's down. Shoulder might have gotten jammed up.
So many fouls in this game. We knew that coming in. Both very high foul squads. Another look at this one. Just a tough sort of forearm to the neck area. So now the Huskies with a chance. Just about 5 minutes to go in overtime number 2. Holmes standing over it. Holmes into the box. Anaking with a punch. Follow-up chance. Washington into the box again, and Anaking is there. Going to take a lot more than that to beat the Hawkeye keeper. Still tied.
Holdenreed just missed that rebound by a little bit, but was still able to get a good shot off, but timing just missing a little bit there.
Some danger there. Iowa able to earn position and a throw deep in their attacking third. And another change. Berkeley Bingley will come on for Maya Hansen. Some fresh legs for the Hawkeyes.
Inside key! Inside key!
Throw on the far side.
Drop key!
Maya, too much! Too much, Maya! Samia, pick up somebody. Yep.
Eichenberger, Holmes, able to clear.
Stay connected!
Iowa now coming downhill. Suliafu gets ahead on it. Iowa again. 4 minutes to go. Can they get on the board? Into the box. She goes down, but no whistle. It hits the referee, and so we will restart play with, I'd assume, a drop ball. Iowa attacker went down in the box, so you saw a little bit of petitioning from the Iowa bench, but not a ton of contact on that one, so not surprised to see it not whistled.
Oh, that was probably a good call.
Iowa with it again. Ingles trying to get through.
Come on, Kels. Get there, Jaden.
Iowa again. Schuler.
Get in there! You gotta get in there, Jay!
Pattison.
Jaden!
Pressure from Washington, but Iowa able to possess for now.
I was starting to extend a few extra midfielders into their zone. They're really trying to push this attack here. Only 2 defenders on the other side.
Definitely playing more aggressive of the two teams. Less than 3 minutes to go. Can Iowa get a chance on goal? Into the box. It's cleared. Samia Shell able to clear it out of bounds, so Iowa has another throw. 2:40 left to play.
Inside key!
Schuler with the throw.
Inside key!
Ingles, Schuler. A turn from Washington. Branson goes down, but no whistle.
Second, Samia!
Both these teams showing so much guts, just battling
And even those moments where they're trying to get a moment of reprieve, Iowa's collapsing right away. Not much time, but now they've managed to at least flip the field and give a little bit moment of reprieve here, as we are now under 2 minutes in the second overtime.
Yeah, the amount of heart by these two teams. Ingles on the run, trying to find a window. Out wide.
Get there. You gotta come off.
Now a chance. Not quite able to get free. Washington defending well. Hammett will pick it up. 90 seconds to go in this second overtime. Will either of these teams be able to get on the board?
Taking her time back there, handling. Ball wants to run off as much clock as possible. Hammett boots it away.
Eichenberger, Bush on that far side. Ingles trying to work this far corner.
1 minute remaining in the second.
Nice defense from Washington. Shell, under a minute to go. Iowa's done so well scooping up those attempted passes from Washington.
They've been sending Ingles down there to just try to sneak behind the defense. Just passes not been there.
Okay.
That one is out for an Iowa corner. Washington is surprised, but the Hawkeyes have a chance. Less than 30 seconds.
They're trying to get set up quickly on the back end.
Looks like they will wait and make this the final play of the game. I believe Johnston standing over it. No, it's Gesick.
Here we go.
Just 12 seconds to go. Gesick
10,
across the goal mouth.
8,
And a whistle against Iowa.
5, 4.
And so the clock will tick to 0, and we are headed to penalties.
Again, that's just kind of how this game has felt. Both teams are scrapping it out.
Pop. Buries it. Upper corner. What a shot.
The stutter step, multiple directions, just kept her on her toes and just fired and hit the upper left corner.
Can't start any stronger than that. Papa Theodoro. A clinical finish against Eniking. And now, Micah Ingles lines up for Iowa against Mia Hammett. Ingles, quick approach, and it's saved! What a play by Mia Hammett.
So far, advantage now in favor of Washington. Again, this time a more direct approach and just fire straight on net. This less of that misdirection, and she's able to read it beautifully.
Doesn't quite hit it wide enough, but also Hammett had that direction nailed, was already in position as the ball came. Now Washington has the chance to play from ahead. Tatum Thomason lining up against Macy Eniking. Thomason comes up clutch, and Washington with a 2-0 lead in the shootout.
This next shot is going to be critical for Iowa to keep pace here. Being down 2, it's going to be a hard ask to come back, and this time just catches her going the wrong direction. Great shot and advantage, Washington.
Now, Iowa with a chance to get on the board themselves. Berkeley Bingley places the ball. Mia Hammett there in goal for Washington. Bingley, and Iowa is on the board.
And that was a must-have goal to keep in this. And this time it was very subtle. Approaches the ball and just subtly with her foot kicks it the other way. Looked like she was going to go left, or drew her to the left and kicked it to the right. Great kick.
Does just enough to convince Hammett to go the other way and gets on the board. And now it's Jaden Holdenreed for Washington. Fires it in the net, and Washington has 3 in a row.
Again, just great shot. That one just had a lot of power to it. Great curvature, you'll see it. Just a lot of spin to it. And unfortunately, the keeper guessed wrong and went the wrong direction.
Well taken by the Huskies. Now Lauren Getzik lined up for Iowa. And buries it upper shelf. What a shot by Getzik.
An advantage still in favor of Washington. Iowa has to steal one in the upcoming remaining shots and just buries it. This time she got the right direction, just couldn't get to it.
So well hit by Getzik. And now for Washington, Kalia Eichenberger. Over the spot, lines up. Eichenberger off the post, and Iowa gets the break it needs. They now have at least a window to a victory. Washington still in the lead, 3-2.
Step 1 completed here, and unfortunately just shanked it off the post, but step 1 for Iowa complete. Step 2, tie it up. Step 3, bury it and try to get the win.
Madison Wilson standing over it for Iowa. And she buries it. Even with the slip, she pulls things level for the Hawkeyes.
Just kind of left her standing in shock and in the net, and just a nice little chip shot. Just looked, must have thought it was going to come straight at her, but just went to the right, and Iowa evens it up. A whole new scenario here.
A well-hit ball. And now Washington seeing if they can get back in the lead. It's Lucy Newland. Fires it home, and it's in. Washington back in front, 4-3, and now Iowa has to make this to keep the shootout going.
Advantage absolutely to Washington. They can kind of breathe easy knowing they have the lead, and now Iowa has to match on their heels. Winner go home.
And for the Hawkeyes, it's Kellen Fife, junior midfielder from Bloomfield, Michigan. Fife comes up huge, and it's all tied at 4.
Hammett read that perfectly. Just her hand was a hair short, and we're gonna go to sudden death. It looked like she did get a hand on it, and it just kind of went up.
Well hit by Fife. To force the PKs into extras, we are going to go to a 6th shot for Washington. Kolo Suliafu.
Now this puts the pressure back on Washington. You miss it, that leaves the door wide open for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and I don't think they want to repeat.
Our keeper is doing that and they told her stop.
Suliafu, the junior defender. So good for Washington all game long. Now lines up at the penalty spot. Anaking told to stay on the goal line. Suliafu, but it's saved by Anaking. Huge play by the Iowa keeper, and now the path is there for the Hawkeyes to win it.
The door is wide open for the Hawkeyes, and again, just great read by Anakin.
Both keepers so qualified to take on a shootout like this. And now who else? Minnesotan Barrett Parton, the leading scorer for Iowa as a freshman, with a chance to advance Iowa in the Big Ten tournament in front of her hometown fans. Ball on the spot. Parton takes her steps. And it's saved. Mia Hammett, an absolute brick wall for Washington.
Man, I'm speechless. Both of these teams are hard at work. It's really coming down to the wire. It wasn't a bad shot. Trying to hit that corner, but just read perfectly once again. And again, how much pressure they're putting on both their keepers tonight. They're going to be talked about for a long time.
Still tied up. Freshman Alex Buck at the spot for Washington. 4-4. Buck. And it's in, top shelf. Washington leads 5-0. Iowa has to convert to keep this shootout going.
Iowa did it once before to match it. Can they do it again? That's going to be the real question. Again, just finding the gaps.
For Iowa, it's Mia Schuler, the senior defender from Northville, Michigan. Ball on the spot. And it's saved! Washington wins in penalties!
And talk about a moment for Washington. They fell in the regular season to Iowa, and they managed to get the job done. It took it to penalty shootout, but in the end, they get their revenge in the postseason.